Welcome back to the Best Small Business Show. I'm Rich, here with my amazing co-host, BJ.
He kills me, everybody. How's everybody doing? Today's episode is one that we're really excited about for quite a while. We're going to dive into Brené Brown's book, Dare to Lead, breaking it down for all of you small business owners out there.
Yeah, that's right. This is a book that I think BJ and I have recommended 4 or 5 times on our podcast. So we thought we'd really go into it and dig down into Dare to Lead and take out those tidbits that are really important for entrepreneurs. Because leadership isn't just for Fortune 500 CEOs. It's essential for us small business owners too. So today, we're pulling 4 powerful insights from Dare to Lead, and we're going to pair them with actionable steps you can take to level up your business.
And as always, we're going to keep it fun, lively, and packed with practical advice. Let's jump right in. Rich, give it to us.
Our first insight is all about embrace vulnerability. Okay.
Yeah.
Brené Brown says vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. And as we all know, as small business owners, we often think we need to have all the answers or appear invincible.
Yeah.
That's not true. Vulnerability is actually a superpower.
You are so right, Rich. Being vulnerable isn't about oversharing. It's about being open and honest with your team, clients, and even yourself. As a small business owner, you can do this. You can do it because it builds trust and it strengthens relationships. And you have the ability in a smaller group to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have 3 great action steps for you to become a little, analyze your vulnerability and turn it into a superpower. Number 1, start small. In your next team meeting, share a challenge you're facing, okay? And invite ideas from the team. Ask them, I need your help here. This shows your team that you value their input. Second, ask for feedback. Create a feedback loop by regularly asking employees or clients how you can improve. I say this all the time to clients. I go,
Yep.
just ask, how am I doing? How am I doing?
Yep. And we've talked about this before about how it is so important. And I think when I read the book, I felt validated. I did. I felt validated because it was like, yes, I'm so glad she said that.
And the third action step is model the behavior. If you're open, your team will also follow suit and be open. This creates a culture where everyone feels safe to contribute. And this is so important because some of your team members probably have great ideas, but they're afraid of saying anything. They're afraid of getting rejected. And it's like having this open atmosphere makes it that much more open.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what is so interesting is that people bring the baggage of their last job to your job. So if their boss was closed and not transparent, you're going to have to almost like peel the onion back and get to the point where your openness is happening for them. So it's pretty incredible. This is one insight I wanted to share. Cultivate a culture of courage. I just love that. The idea that Brené emphasizes that leading with courage means making tough decisions. We just talked about this on our last podcast. Tough decisions, even when they're uncomfortable. And it's just like the most important thing you could do is to foster that courage with your team. Am I right, Rich?
Absolutely. Small businesses absolutely need courageous teams. Okay.
Yeah.
Big companies can have deadheads, I call them people, but when you're a small company, everyone needs to contribute. So we're often in the trenches together, and we need to solve problems on the fly. But courage doesn't need to happen without intention. So you have to be intentional.
Yeah. And, an action step that I could think of doing would be define core values. Make sure your team knows what you stand for. We've a couple of podcasts ago, we talked about this concept of core values. Write down the business's core values and use them to guide decisions. Um, we talked last time about the 24-hour rule, where, if there's an issue, you've got 24 hours to think about it and get the solution. So define core values is so important. And also celebrate the mistakes, fail forward, man. Just create that culture within your company of highlighting lessons learned from the mistakes of a thing. We do a post-mortem, and within the post-mortem, we're talking about all that, right, Rich? I mean, you've heard me talk that way.
Absolutely. This is so important in managing your team is letting people fail. Let people make mistakes because they learn from them. Sometimes we're so afraid to make a mistake. We're so afraid of making our boss angry or a customer angry. And I'm not saying to actually make a mistake, but don't be afraid of making a mistake because you learn from it. And it's so
Yeah,
important.
definitely. And also, provide autonomy. I am a complete, I had a lot of learning to do, Rich, where I thought that everything I did, I had to micromanage. And no, no, let your team own their projects, take risks with clear boundaries. They know where they can get the help. They know where they can get the help. Let them manage that. You looked at their resume, they totally can handle all that kind of stuff. So this concept of, you know, culture of, courage has to be you too. You have to give yourself that.
Yeah, it's I've always coached clients to say to their team members, "Well, what do you think you should do?" Instead of them asking you a question, don't answer the
Right.
question. Immediately answer it with, "Well, what do you think you should do?" And 9 times out of 10, they're going to go, "I think I should do this. Great idea. Go do it." That
Yeah.
autonomy empowers your team and grows
Oh,
them.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, our third insight is to lead with clarity and empathy. Okay.
Mm.
Brené talks about the importance of clear is kind, unclear is unkind. And as leaders,
Yeah.
we need to set clear expectations, but we also need to show empathy when things don't go as planned.
I just love this one, Rich. How many times have we tried to avoid tough conversations because they felt really uncomfortable or something
Yeah.
like that? Being unclear in your communication creates confusion and resentment. I think your whole team would benefit from direct conversation. Just be direct. You know, if it doesn't go over so well, well, then, handle it after that. But just be clear.
Well, we have a few action steps for to lead with clarity and empathy. The first one is be specific. When you're going to assign tasks to your team, outline what success looks like. Do your best is very vague, and I hate it when my
Yes.
boss says, just do your best. I hate that. Give clear deadlines and outcomes. I'd like you to get this done by Friday at 9, and this is what I'd like to see on my desk. That makes it so much easier. So they're not guessing and they're not
Yeah.
questioning themselves. And secretly, they're not bothering you all the time.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
Second, practice empathetic listening. When an employee shares a concern, listen fully before jumping to solutions. Just keep asking questions. Why do you think that happens? Okay, what tell me more. Tell me more is a great way to manage your people. So be empathetic. And then finally, follow through. Don't forget about it. If you set an expectation, hold yourself and others accountable for that follow through.
Yeah. And I mean, I think this is what we were saying about the fail forward. So if the person does fail a bit, follow through. and break it on down. Do that postmortem, break it on down, do. But not everything is a firestorm. So, keep it short, keep it sweet, just like, we were talking about, just be clarity, but have empathy for the person who, is accepting responsibility for something. Um, the last one, number 4, is build connection and belonging. This could be the winner of all your leadership things. Insight is, when you think about that idea of connection, Brené emphasizes that people want to feel like they belong, not just at work, but as part of something meaningful. They want to be part of a mission or an overall vision. They want to be that part. Why do you think everybody wants to work for Apple? Why do you think everybody wants to work for these, right? A
Yep.
sustainable company. Well, they see the mission. It's physically seeable. So that idea of you as a business owner creating connection and belonging, you're going to benefit from every single thing you put together that way. You're going to love it.
And small businesses have a unique advantage here. We're like families, but that
Yeah.
doesn't happen by accident. You have to intentionally build connections between everyone that works there. You can't leave anybody out. You can't have a middle child. You have to ensure that everybody's treated the same way.
Right. And no crazy Uncle Rick. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You can't have an outlier who basically has their own little company going on over there. And you guys are all here. You have to connect everybody and have an incredible belonging. A couple of action steps will kind of wrap this up is check in regularly. Start the meetings with a quick personal check-in. A simple, hey, what's one win and one challenge this week? Goes a long way. It's an icebreaker. Everybody's been gone for the week. They come back. They need something to kind of get them unfrozen again. Also, create team traditions, whether it's Friday lunches, it's quarterly celebrations, rituals just build belonging. If everybody gets the same vest with the name on it, they absolutely love that kind of stuff. And also, show gratitude. A handwritten note or a shout out at a meeting can be just invaluable. I love doing little post-it notes and leave them in secret places. And of course, then all my employees like to do that too. And some of the post-it notes get slightly inappropriate, but they are fun. And the whole idea is you're connecting and you're having them feel like they're belonging. So it's really a wonderful book.
BJ, that last one is so
Yeah.
important. And so many managers think, they're not going to appreciate it. I had a client who worked at an organization and they would regularly get handwritten thank you notes like, you're great, you're awesome. Thank you so much for handling that. You're the best assistant I've ever had. And it was she always show me them on the screen. And what was interesting was then she got another job for another boss who did none of that. And
Yeah.
the entire time she was like, am I doing a good job? Questioning herself. And then I'm going to be honest, she started, uh, rejecting her boss. Her boss doesn't care about her at all,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
because so the
Wow.
opposite happened,
Right.
and what's funny is the client went on to work again for her old boss, and the notes started coming, and it was like old home week. It was like, oh my God, there. And I've been coaching this person for years, and it's so funny. I go, see, you see the difference between good managers and bad managers. So
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's also just the spirit
yeah,
behind those notes, right? It's just you can't believe what you're doing. How long did it take you? 30 seconds,
exactly.
right? Sheesh, it's the best.
It's just the thought that counts, and people
Yeah.
forget that thought in feeling, making someone else. What is it? It's not what you do for people; it's how you make them feel. So,
Yes. Yes,
So to
definitely.
wrap up, there you have it. 4 insights from Dare to Lead that every small business owner can use. Embrace vulnerability, cultivate courage, lead with clarity and empathy, and build connection and belonging.
Leadership doesn't have to be all about having all the answers. It's also about showing up authentically, making tough decisions, and lifting all the people around you.
Absolutely. And remember, small business owners, you have the power to create a culture where leadership thrives at every level.
If you haven't done it already, pick up a copy of Dare to Lead. This is another one for the bookshelf. It's a must read for anyone serious about leading with their heart and with courage. I want you all to keep this momentum going. Share this episode on LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and TikTok with a hashtag, the best small business show. Spread the word and keep our community growing by subscribing to our show.
And for all things brand marketing and website design, contact my great podcast partner, BJ Flagg, at newrenew.com and make your marketing remarkable. Ready to take your business to the next level? Reach out to me, Rich G, at richg.com for top-tier business coaching that drives results.
And a big shout out to our editor and producer, Richard Scalzo, who makes us sound so professional. And every episode, have an unbelievable week, crush those goals, read those books, and we'll catch you on the next episode.